Hi, it's Lethea from Farmview Creators. Today we're going to work on the Holy Family door hanger from the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. I decided I wanted to go super neutral on this one because I tend to lean towards bright colors, but I'm trying to, vary it up and try new stuff. So I went in on the background with my Van Dyke Brown semi-gel stain from Couture and let that dry really well. And then I'm going to go in on the star with Spanish Sunrise. It's a very nice kind of muted yellow, not too bright. And I am painting that, and I'm kind of leaving the space where Mary and Joseph are going to overlap. And got that dry, and then putting a second layer on there right away, because I am going to go in there and add a layer of glitter on top. But first I'm going to clean out the score lines from the top where there is an engraved star. I'm just using my weeding tool to just clean out the paint from those lines, and it'll be just a little subtle accent up there. And I was turning it so that the light would hit it right so I could see the lines. And I will go over that with some wax to make it pop a little more. And for Joseph's attire, I decided to go with Couture's mineral acrylic in the color Cozy Beige. This is just a really pretty color. And I'm just going to get all of his outfit with that. And Mary has her own piece that layers over, so I don't need to worry about painting that. I just wanted to make sure I had it all covered. And then I'm going to go in with Peace. This is a brand new color that I got from the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina, and I am loving it. It's just a little darker than the Cozy Beige, and just a nice, complement to it, so that they weren't in the exact same colors, but still in the same neutral tones. And then I'm going to use my weeding tool to clean out those score lines too, just so that those accents are there. And I go in for Joseph's beard and mustache with Madagascar Mocha. And I'm using a very small round tip paintbrush for that. I did invest in some new paintbrushes that are better quality than what I've been using. Then I'm going to go in for his headdress with Pinecone. It is another brown, but it is, I guess, a brighter brown, you would say. Not as dark, really. And then I'm going to go in on her headdress with that same Cozy Beige that I used on Joseph's outfit. And then for their faces, I'm going to use French Rose, which is just a really pale blush color. Not as pale as Peony, but Peony almost looks white to me. And I wanted a little more pink tone for their faces. I will tone it down a little bit with my dark wax. And then I decided to use Truffle for Baby Jesus' swaddling. It's a really nice dark gray brownish color. Somehow I ended up with 2 pots of it because I like it so much. And I will go back in and I will clean out his score lines too. Just checking that I like how it looks with the 2 pieces side by side before I move on. And I'm going to let those dry, come back to the star, and I'm going to go in with just a quick layer of vintage lace. This is a Luxe Metallic from Paint Couture. I like to layer it over top of the Spanish rose just to give it a more yellow tone, and it kind of brightens it up a little bit. But it is totally fine all on its own. I've used it all on its own many times. But for this, for stars and stuff, I just kind of like to brighten it up. I'm going to use a very high grit sandpaper just to do one little quick sanding over top of the pieces to even out the paint, and just to give it a little more of a distressed look. It'll also give the wax something to cling into. And then I'm going to use my, it's just a cheap stenciling brush from Amazon to apply my wax around the edges, and then I'll kind of buff it through in places just to give it more of a rustic dimensional look on the piece. And if you get too much, you can just wipe it back with a paper towel or a baby wipe. And you can always add more. Now I'm going to go in with my favorite top coat, Dead Flat Top Coat from Paint Couture. Takes out all the shine. Now it's not going to mess up that Luxe Metallic. Still going to be nice and shimmery. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue. Love the art glitter glue because it does not make my fingers sticky. It gives you a little wiggle room if you need to kind of slide things around a little bit. And it dries clear. So if you have it kind of smoosh out on the sides, not a big deal. Then I'm going to use the jute that Christina wraps around her packages. She puts beautiful tissue paper around it that smells so good, and then she ties it off with jute. So that's what I use. And I love how it turned out. I love this neutral palette. I hope you do too. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and join us again.